Today I am with Dr. Kavi Arya. He's a faculty member from Computer Science Department of IIT Bombay, and he gave a very inspiring talk on robots and robotics. And he took us to the world in future where probably humans will be replaced by robots. So I was very curious to talk about robots with him. So Dr. Kavi, what do you think is the role of robot today, and what's going to happen in future in India, for example?
What is the work of robots today? We are looking at robots as something which will replace humans in inhospitable conditions, or where there is danger and stuff like that.
Okay.
Or whether there's a very monotonous job that needs to be done. Like, I just don't know how watchmen in building, right, can do what they do, because that's absolutely the kind of thing we are not good for. That means
Correct.
sitting for 12 hours and just waiting for something to happen. So that's where robots and surveillance devices would be very, very useful. Things like we've been speaking about, like sanitation.
Okay.
There's tremendous use of robots in sanitation. Robots might not be like the humanoid robots that we are talking about. I'm talking about robots meaning any mechanized machine that can sense the environment and interact with it. In, say, healthcare. They are being used for robotic surgery, they are being used for patient care, for administering medicines and stuff like that. Robotic surgery has become very big, where people can transcontinentally do a surgery. I can have a surgeon in one room looking at a virtualized view of the patient's insides, and through a keyhole thousands of kilometers away, a robot with all the instrumentation and tools in place is, I mean, that's the actuation is happening of surgery, including stitching up and cutting and removing and all those kind of things, right?
But will it be as precise as human beings do?
It will be more precise than what human beings do, because we are limited by the size of our
fingers,
indexes and fingers. We can't do very fine work, while robot has no such limitation. And plus you can have lenses which can give your eyes much more power, if you like. So you can do much more fine things that, say, your human hands couldn't do.
But human beings have kind of intuition of doing something which robots will not have. So then how will it be handled that way?
In this case, the robot, it's actually not a robot. It's actually a automated limb.
Okay.
So the same doctor is working.
So same doctor's brain is being used.
But they are being enabled, right?
By these
machines, basically.
Oh, I think that's very interesting. But this is very high technology and a high-end application. But if you talk of common man, that's like, say, farmer who is in a village.
Yes.
Will robot help him?
Absolutely. I mean, in fact, what's happening, I'm told that because of, I've got friends who are farmers in Punjab and other places, they're saying one big problem due to NREGA.
What is NREGA?
Employment Guarantee Scheme.
Guarantee Scheme of Government of India.
The Bihari and UP workers who are coming to work as migrants in their farm are not to be found in the numbers that they used to. So they have big problems in farming, because what happens in farming, you have these bursts of activities and then a big lull. Burst of harvesting where you need lots of manpower, right? And they find that they are not having enough manpower to do the work, and robotics would be an excellent kind of a solution for that kind of back-breaking work.
It's a paradoxical situation that we have unemployment rates which are very high, and still they don't find people to work.
That's another problem. Unemployment rates being high. It's like famine. It's not because you don't have enough food in the country, but the food is being put to use in the places where it's not as much required. So it's an artificially created shortage, if you like.
So the industry, you want an industry to grow. So in that case, you should have large number of companies using robots and large number of companies manufacturing robots.
Yes.
Which is not happening today.
It's like the unless there is demand, there will not be a supply. Unless there is a demand for PhD people, there will not be enough PhD people in this place, right? So likewise, unless there is a demand for robots, for demand for the kind of quality of work that a robot can produce, it requires investment. Unless there is enough demand, you will not invest in that. So it's going to happen now, I suspect, because I
Okay.
shared with you how the economy is growing,
Economy is growing, yeah.
almost exponentially. We are poised now at a point where robots have to be adopted, because you cannot produce that much goods, if you like, by just manpower. Like simple example, roads. How many of you are actually seeing on roads actual labor nowadays? You're finding JCBs, right?
Yes.
JCB, if you like, is a human controlled robot,
Human controlled robot,
right?
okay.
And JCBs are happening because we don't have time for human beings to do it, because they'll be very slow. Likewise, in the manufacturing industry and other industries, the time is now that things are growing at a kind of pace where robots will be required. And I feel that at this point, if our Indian manufacturers and students can get in there and do stuff and create products, they'll be winners all the way.
Yeah, but I think Indian manufacturing company or manufacturing business is low compared to, let's say, China.
Yes.
And therefore, unless that manufacturing industry grows,
Yes.
this robotics will not grow in manufacturing industry. But I'm thinking of using robots at home, or robots at or small applications where robots are being used and are used directly by a human being rather than in industry.
Yes.
Are there any applications which can come to India immediately?
Why come to India? They are in India, and we can build the things.
For example, which?
I'll give you a simple example. We incubated this idea as okay. What Professor Velukar mentioned, for instance, right? They wanted a vehicle, which is essentially a robotic vehicle, right? Where you have a large campus and you want to, in a very sustainable, eco-friendly way, transport people around the campus. So we built and delivered to them a robotic vehicle. And what is that vehicle? That vehicle is a golf cart, which is built by a company called Maini Products in Bangalore. If you go to Hyderabad airport, you will see a lot of these whizzing around the airport basically, and all these big airports. Okay. So we just took one of those vehicles and we instrumented it, and we put some actuators in place. So what we did is that we put in the steering mechanism a torsion motor which would turn the steering wheel. We put a small controller inside that, and we put magnetometers which can sense magnets in a bumper of our design. Right? So just like our small toy, our educational robots have got a white line sensor. That means it's a downward looking light sensor which can sense the contrast in the lighting between white and black and stuff like that. So it follows a white line, right? Similarly, our vehicle it follows magnets. So you have a magnetic field in the ground, and depending on the strength of that, it can see how far it is from that and control the vehicle. So at intervals of about 1 to 1.5 feet, we planted little magnets 1 inch below the ground in the entire pathway of the robot, and this autonomous vehicle would drive around that pathway, right? And there you have a robot. I'll give you another instance. The naval dockyard came to us saying that they wanted a remote controlled target boat. Okay. Now this is an example of the kind of opportunities that exist. Now, remote control target boat is where you have a mothership, and from there they control a boat which is about 30 foot long with a kind of vertical thing on it, and a line of frigates will line up on the other side and take pot shots and do target practice with this boat. So you have a mothership, a few kilometers ahead you have your target practice boat which is remote controlled, and then ships a few kilometers out there which will shoot shells. And based on how accurate they are, they can improve their shooting and stuff like that. Now this remote control boat is not rocket science.
Yes.
Right? It's just a bigger version of these remote control cars and all that you find. But you have to use better communication and fail safe and all these kind of things, right? And better range and all that kind of stuff. And we are buying it from the Israelis for some 3 crore rupees. A boat, right? A system. And the Israelis don't help us with much support.
3 crores means 30 million rupees, right?
No, it's about half,
30 million rupees.
Yeah, it's about roughly about $500 million or whatever, a bit more than that. Okay. Now I calculated with the marine engineers who were there how much a hull like this would cost, a boat like this would cost, with all the mechanisms and outboard motors and everything, all the actuator mechanisms inside it, and the electronics that we would have to build and program and all that. It won't cost more than about 35 to 40 lakhs to build it here. And then what happens is that technology belongs to you.
Yes.
You can improve it, and
So
you can sell it to the world after
You
that.
have done it.
You've done it.
Any other message that you would like to give to the young people?
Well, I think the most important message is don't be afraid of dreaming,
Okay.
and don't be put off by people who say it can't be done.
Okay.
There's no harm in taking a risk. There's no harm in losing a little bit of money. There's no harm in trying and failing. The worst thing is to get slightly ahead in life and look back at your time and, oh, I wish I did this. Oh, I wish I did that. Because these days where you have the opportunity to spend a year, 2 years in pursuing a pet dream, don't come back very easily once you have responsibilities and all that later on. So this is the time to take risks. Go and conquer those territories out there. Have fun. Live in life intensely. Take risks and do something that has not been done before. Right? And I wish you all
Grab the
best.
opportunity
Grab the
and be adventurous.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.